beautiful people, you're welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for always coming back, and if you're new, you are welcome. God bless you. So today I want to show you how to add yoke to already made corset bustier like this one. Okay, so in my previous video I showed you how to make your corset using already made bra cup, and I promised you that I'm going to also bring this video where I can show you how to add yoke to this. So I actually did this for tutorial purpose. I showed how to make your corset with already made bra cut, but I said I won't put it on this way. I'm going to add yoke to it, so that is why I am making this video for you today. Okay, today I want to show you how you can add yoke to your already made corset. In case you have a corset like this and you decide to just change the style to add yoke to it, then this video is for you. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, I say a very big welcome to you. Join this wonderful family by subscribing. It is absolutely free. Just hit on the subscribe button below and turn on the bell beside it, so that whenever I upload a video, you will be among those that will be notified. So thank you for doing that. Now, to add our yoke to this corset, I would just remove this. I placed this, at the previous video I showed you that I'll be embellishing the cup with this, but I have not done that. I just placed it, so I'll just keep it aside. When I'm done with adding the yoke and doing all the design I want, then I can embellish the cup. Okay, so to add our yoke, we'll first of all draft on our paper. Okay, so what I'll do now is to fold my corset like so. So by the time you fold, just pushing the other cup inside like this. Okay, just push it in, then you place your dress on the paper like so. Let the center front be at the edge of the paper like this, and leaving a little space under. Okay, so I'll just place it like this, and I would pin it down. Yes, just pin it to hold it down so it doesn't move while you are walking. Okay, so by the time you have placed it this way, now you place your tape at the underbust using the underbust point measurement. So in this case, the underbust is 14 inches. That is, the underbust point is 14 inches. So I'll place my tape at the underbust, okay, at that 14 inches. Then I'll just hold it like so. Okay, just take it down. So this is how actually the measurement is. This is how the measurement is on the body. The underbust 14 like so. Okay, and the neck line. So I would mark the shoulder. So by the time you have placed your tape at the underbust like so, that is using the underbust point measurement, you just hold your tape down, and where you have the edge of your tape, there is the shoulder measurement. Okay, that is the shoulder point. So I'll mark it. So this is the shoulder. Okay, so I'll just draw a line there. So this is my shoulder line. So this is the shoulder line. Okay, this is the shoulder line. So having done this, now I'll place the shoulder measurement. Okay, I'll take the shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement is 14. So divide it by 2. That is 7. But because I'll be adding sleeve to this, I would mark at 7.5. That is ½ inch for joining the sleeve. So this is the shoulder measurement. Then I also mark the neck width. Okay, so I'm using 4 inches for the neck width, and this is the shoulder measurement. Now I will step down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll connect it to the neck width. Okay, so that is it. So having done this, now you can now create your neck, the neck depth. So for me, I want a V-neck all the way from the shoulder to this point, because I want to add ruffles at the neckline here, this the bustier neckline. So I just want a little opening here. But if you just want to create your neck, maybe a round neck or any other neck design, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, but for me, I want a V neck. So this is how I would connect it from the shoulder up and down to these points where I have the bustier neckline, okay, or the corset neckline. So I'll just connect it from this point like so. Okay, so this is it. Then having done this, now I'll move to this other side to create the armhole. So remember that we have our armhole on the corset already. So what I'll do now is just to connect it, but before that, just trace this cup area. Okay, so just trace what you have there. Make sure that this other one is under. So just trace what you have here like so. Okay, just trace it to this point. Then you connect your, and that you now draw your line from this shoulder. From your shoulder, you create your armhole depth line. Okay, and here it is. So now I'll just measure what I have here and find the midpoint. So this is 8 inches, so the midpoint is 4. I'll go in by ½ inch. So this is for my front armhole. Okay, then connect it this way. I believe you are familiar with basic bodies. So this is how I create an armhole. So by the time you have done this, just simply curve it. Okay, you can use your French curve, you can just use your free hand, just curve it. Okay, so these are armhole. Remember, the armhole, we already have an armhole on this bustier or on the corset, so it has to match up, and that is it. Okay, so this is it for the front yoke. So before cutting it, I'll have to add my ½ inch seam allowance at the shoulder. Remember, I do this all the time if you have been following me. So this is ½ inch for joining the shoulder, the front and the back. So you have to do this so that you don't alter your armhole depth and your neckline. Okay, by the time you join. So this is my shoulder seam allowance. Just connect it, you connect it as well. So this is it. Okay, so we have created our bustier. So have created our yoke. So if you want your round neck, you just go ahead and cut it this way. If you want it to be V, you go ahead and cut it this way. So I'll just cut out everything so that you see what I have there. Okay, so now you can take off your dress, you can remove the dress. So before you cut, make sure you add ½ inch here for joining this part to the dress. So you can measure it, you can eyeball it, just add ½ inch. Okay, so this is actually where we are stopping. This one just, an extension. So by the time we join it, we can just cut it out. So let me just cut it. So now I want to assume that I am giving it a round neck. So let me just follow what I have here. Later I'll cut out my V-neck. Don't want to spoil it. Okay, so in case you're going to use a round neck, that is what you do. So this is it. This is our yoke. So remember that this is the center, this is the center front, this is the armhole side. So you can see what we have here. Okay, so if you're going to when cutting on your fabric, definitely you put your fabric on fold. That is if you're using like the round neck, so that everything will just be one. It will be one if you're using the round neck. You place your fabric on fold and you cut, you have it there as your yoke. But since I'm using the V, by the time I cut it out like this, it will be, what I'll now need for the yoke is 2 pieces, one for this side and one for the other side. That is because of the style. So let me just cut it out. Let me cut out my V-neck. So this is how it's going to be. So you can see this. So I'll be having two pieces of this, one for this side and one for this other side when I cut on my fabric. So I'll be cutting on net. I'll be using net, but before I cut on the net, I'll also cut the back. So this is the front. Okay, this is the front. So let's cut the back. So to cut the back, I'll still fold it. Okay, so this time around is the center back that you place at the edge of the paper. So you just arrange the back like so, making sure that the center back is at the edge of the paper. Okay, now you can also use your front to get the back yoke. So what you will do, you have to place it this way, okay, because the armhole has to align. The armhole has to align. So you can just mark it. For the back, to get to this part, the back will also be V, okay, because we already have zipper here. So the back has to be open, V as the front. Okay, so even if you're using a round neck at the front, for this type of yoke, the back has to be open because of the zipper, unless you are going to attach zipper at the yoke as well, then you can now extend it. So but since the zipper is already fixed, the back has to be open. So I'll just use what I have for the front like so and cut the back. Okay, so I'll just trace the armhole. I'll trace the armhole, but remember that the back armhole is not as deep as the front, so we'll have to alter it a little bit. I'll also trace the neckline. So by the time I have done this, I will just maintain this shape for the back. Okay, so the only part I need for the front is, using this front is the armhole and this other side, but the shape for the back has to align or has to match up with this, so that when you join it, it should be the same. Okay, so like I said, the front armhole and the back armhole are not the same. So now we would make that adjustment. Remember, it's at the 4 inches, that is at the midpoint of the armhole, that I went in by ½ inch. So I'll just come out by that ½ inch for the back armhole. Okay, so this is it here. So by the time I have done this, I'll just connect it. I'll just connect it like so. So just connect it back. Okay, just take it back. So this is the back armhole. Just carefully do it, so it has to match up here. Okay, and simple, that is just it. So this is the back, and this is how we have it. Okay, you will still add your ½ inch for joining this part to this part. Okay, though we have our ½ inch here, but remember the shapes are not the same, so we still have to add our ½ inch to the back. Okay, just simply add your ½ inch. So that is it. Okay, so this is the back. I'll go ahead and cut it out and cut on my net. So I already have my shoulder seam allowance here because I transferred it from the front. And this is what we have. Okay, so this is the center back, and here we have the center front. So it's actually obvious because we know that this is the armhole. Okay, so now I would double it. So remember, for each of them I'll have 2. That is for the back, for the front, 2. But because I'm doubling it, what I'll be having altogether is 4. So I'll just fold my net. Then I'll fold it again to see if I'll be able to have what I need here. So I'll be able to get it. So I'll fold it. So let me cut out the front. So this is what I have for the front. Okay, so actually I'm supposed to add like 1/4 inch at this side for joining the front, if you understand what I mean. Since I said I want to double it, okay, so I'm supposed to join the two at this side, the center front, join the two at this side, but I'll just go ahead and do that with, little seam allowance. So I don't know if you can see this. Okay, so this is what I have for the front. So let me place it so that you see it. So this is how it's going to be. So it's actually like this because this is the armhole, this side is the armhole. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, so I hope you're seeing this. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, so I'll just pin it at this point where I'll be stitching together. So I'll just stitch it with little seam allowance so that it will be firm. So by the time I stitch this side, that is, I'll stitch it from the inside. I will then go ahead and join it. Okay, so to join it, I'll simply to make it easy, I will just run my stitch round the net since it's double, so that it will just become one. Okay, then I'll go ahead and stitch it from the center front. I'll stitch it all the way to this side, to the armhole, and to be there. So I believe you understand what I'm saying. So I'll just put this aside and also cut out the back from the net. Okay, I'll do the same thing, just exactly the same thing I did for the front that I'll do for the back. I'll just fold my net and cut out the back. So I've cut out the back just the way I cut the front. Okay, so this is how it will be. So this is the back, this is how it will be. Okay, if you can see this, actually have one here. So this is how the back would be. So I'll just go ahead now and join everything, then to be clearer to you. Okay, as you can see, I've stitched the yoke to it. Okay, this is the front, and you can see the back as well. Okay, so now I would fix the sleeve, and definitely I would place back my embellishments. Okay, so I'll just hold it down with pin so that I would later stitch it. So I have to make sure they are aligning. So this is it, and I've also cut out the sleeve. So I also cut out the net for the sleeve. Okay, it's just a basic sleeve, just a basic long sleeve, and this is it. So I'll go ahead to stitch it to the dress. I'll stitch it to the dress, and I've also cut out some embellishment from the lace that I would stitch to the sleeve like so. So I'll stitch it at the midpoint, that is at the center, but that is after I have embellished the neckline. I told you I'll be embellishing the neckline. and it will cut across the sleeve. So by the time I have done that, wherever that is left on my sleeve, I'm going to just design it with this. Okay, so I've sewn the sleeve, okay, as you can see. So now would make the ruffle. So I was thinking whether to leave it like this, but I like being covered, so I'm going to make the ruffles. Okay, so to make your ruffles, you need to measure your round shoulder. So from the back, you measure your shoulder, okay, up to the back again. So you have to start from the neckline at the back, cross the arm, the sleeve, and go this way to the back again. So to get it, just measure your round shoulder, okay, and times it by 3, at least 3 times of your round shoulder, but I'm using 4 times because the more you have, the more the ruffle. Okay, so I'm using 4 times my round shoulder, and you can see I joined it to be able to get the measurements. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to go ahead and fold it. So for the width, I took 11 inches for the width because I want to have 5 inches by the time I fold it and stitch by ½ inch. Okay, so by the time I fold it and stitch by ½ inch, I'll be left with 5 inches for the width. So that's how I want it to be. So now I'll fold it like so. This is the good side. I'll fold it in and I would stitch it all the way down and also close this side. So what I'll do, along the way as I'm stitching, I'll just leave a little space where I can turn it from. Okay, then I'll close the 2 edges. So I'll go ahead and do just that. So I'm done sewing it, and you can see what I have here. I stitch here and stitch here. So now I'm going to turn it using my long ruler. All I need to do is just to push it. So I left a little space at the middle. Here, so I'll turn it out from this point. So here it is. So there's no need to press it because it's ruffle that I want to make with it. So I'll just go ahead and start making the ruffles. So I'll be using hand needle and thread to make the ruffles. Okay, so your thread should be as long as your round shoulder or even more. So now I'll just target the midpoint. Okay, so here that I've stitched to the midpoint, so I'm sewing from the front. I'll just pass my needle and I'll make running stitch. So I'll just make running stitch at the center. Okay, so you can actually decide to follow this side so that you'll be able to follow the center where you stitched it. So let me take this way. So all I need to do is just set it well and make my running stitch. So you can see what we have here. It's already forming the ruffles. So I'll go ahead and make my running stitch till I get to the end. So I'm done making my running stitch. So the next thing now is to just pull it. Okay, so you have to pull it to form the ruffle. But now you have to take note of your round shoulder. So you pull it to get the measurement of your round shoulder. Okay, so what you do next is to tack it to your dress, starting from the back. So I left my needle and thread here so that I can be in control of the ruffle. So I can just adjust it to give me my length. Okay, so from the back here, I would place it from this point, from this side that I don't have the needle and thread, so that I can be able to, control it from this side. So now I'll place it the side you stitched down. So while doing this, you can use your needle. So while doing this, you can pin it down before you go ahead and stitch. Okay, so you just pin it down, just keep setting it until it goes round. So it starts from here. Make sure you give a little space because of your zipper, so you can start from here. Okay, and you stitch. So I'll use my pin to hold it down until I've gotten the desired look. So I'll just adjust it, take it round like so. Has to go at the neckline. That is where I'm stitching it, or I'm tacking it. So I want more of the ruffles to be in front. So now you just take it across the sleeve. By the time you take it across the sleeve, you have to measure the length of your sleeve. Okay, then you pin it. So you need to know the length of your sleeve so it will not be tight. So just keep arranging it. I like more ruffle at the sleeve side. So I'll just continue taking it round until I get to the back again. So as you do it, you keep checking your ruffles if it would go round. Okay, just keep adjusting it. So you can see what I have here. Now I'll turn it. And just leave a little space for the sleeve. You have to give enough room for the sleeve here. You have to give enough room. Okay, so but still I will arrange my ruffle. Move this for now. So you can see what I have. So after holding it down with my pin right now, I'll go ahead and stitch it. So I'll thread another needle and tack it round, okay? So this is it in the front, okay? So I would tack it. I just let it go this way. Then I'll still have my embellishment coming under here. So you can see this. So go ahead and tack it and you see the final look on the mannequin, okay? And here it is, from this to this. Hope you like this video. Please give it a like, share with your friends, and if you are yet to subscribe, hit on that subscribe button to be part of this wonderful family. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Remain blessed.